Hi friends. So this week we are 38 weeks pregnant. Isn't that so amazing?
Woo!
That's Mondo in the background. Let me show you the bump real quick. I will tell you that she has definitely dropped. I don't know if you can tell, but last Sunday I had some intense cramps and this area right here definitely dropped. So we are almost there. We had a midwife appointment this morning and it went really well. Our midwife and doula came to our home and it was just a beautiful thing. So here is a picture of that. It was a really great time, a really great appointment. So we're excited. We got a couple of weeks to go. And so far, sweet baby girl is sitting there pretty and that's pretty much it. So we'll let you know when things progress. So today we want to do something a little different. In the spirit of having to social distance ourselves, Mondo and I thought it'd be funny to sit on each side of the table by distancing ourselves. And we are going to ask some crazy questions, some intense questions. I have 5 questions for him.
Okay.
He has no idea what they are. And he has 5 questions for me, and I don't know what they are. And so we thought, you know what? We're home. We're socially distancing ourselves. And so we're going to make the best of this. And we're just going to have fun and we're going to bring you along. So I did not get scared about these questions. They're a little touchy, maybe. Ooh. And his questions are too. So let's
juicy.
see what we come up with.
Okay. All right, boo. Ladies first, or what? What do you want to do?
How about you ask me first?
Okay. All right. We'll start with you. Okay. All right. I'll go. What's one thing that brings you to tears when you think about our infertility and pregnancy journey? What's one thing that brings you to tears immediately?
Immediately, it's the failed cycle that we had. Like the first image is the failed transfer cycle.
Okay.
Everything was really hard. Everything was really hard, and the waiting was hard, and the not knowing was hard. But that was the bottom for me, because it was climactic. We did all this stuff, and we waited, and we took all of these tests, and then we got the news, and it was just like slap in the face. So that was the hardest part for me.
So every time you think about that moment, you get watery eyed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Whenever we go back to that video,
yeah,
I cry every time.
I hear you. Okay. All right.
Okay, I have a question for you.
All right.
Okay, here we go. You gotta be honest.
I'll be honest. Okay. All right.
Okay. You have seen my body at its leanest, and now it's at its heaviest.
Yep.
How attractive do you find me now that I'm 38 weeks pregnant and still getting bigger?
You would do that. Okay. All right. So first of all, attractiveness, honey, has only a little bit to do with the physical part, in my opinion. You may have been really lean, last year before, whatever it was, and the leanest you've ever been. But I told you then, I was really honest with you how I felt about it.
Oh, you never started it.
Shoot! Okay, cool.
That's okay.
I was really honest with you how I felt about where you were back then. You were really proud of how you looked and everything. And of course, there's a part of me that's proud of you achieving your goals, but at the same time, something didn't sit right with me. Did you look great? Yeah. But your whole presence and your aura and your being, was that really attractive? Not so much, to be honest with you. It wasn't ugly, but it just didn't seem like it was you.
Why?
Because it seemed like you were forcing everything.
Oh.
And you weren't being yourself. And you never seemed comfortable in yourself. You never seemed at peace with yourself. You may have accomplished a goal as far as looking a certain way, but there was still something in you and you could see it in your eyes that you still weren't content. So a person who lacks all that, but yet looks a certain way, how attractive can that really be? So as you started, getting more comfortable with yourself, and we got pregnant, right? And we're going through our journey. We achieve our goal, getting pregnant, and then you're watching your body grow as it should, okay? And I've told you over and over on a daily basis, you look what?
Beautiful.
Yes, okay. And you get more and more beautiful every day. And I'm not kidding about that. I'm not trying to be, whatever, but I'm just telling you the truth. And not because of just what's happening physically, but I see it in everything, your spirit, how you look at yourself in the mirror, how you treat yourself, how you speak about yourself, how comfortable you are now. It's just everything about you is attractive, where before you may have looked attractive. Everything about you is attractive now. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
I love it. Good job, babe.
Well, it's the truth. All right. Oh, my turn. My bad. I was waiting on another question. All right, here we go. What was the one moment that you knew you wanted to have our children and that you wouldn't give up trying?
Okay, so let's see if I can condense this to a short story. I was at a point where I written off baby making.
Well, not totally baby making. I'm just kidding.
What do you mean?
I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I'm the act. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm totally kidding. Anyway.
No, I meant like I got to a point where I accepted that we were going to have a child-free life.
Yeah.
I was heavily into dieting, heavily into the leanest point I had ever been in. That was my life in order to be that small.
Right.
And because I got so lean, I didn't have enough fat in my body, and I stopped my cycles. My cycle stopped.
Yeah.
I didn't know that had happened. All I knew was I didn't have a period.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I was pregnant. And one morning we go out to breakfast to one of our favorite restaurants.
Okay.
And we're sitting across from each other just like we are now. And because I was on such a strict diet regimen, it was very out of the ordinary for me to order food that you didn't typically see me eat.
Right.
And so if you remember, I ordered oatmeal and bananas or something like I had a bunch of carbs. I just ate a bunch of carbs.
Right.
And you were like, that's funny.
Right. I know that.
Why are you eating like that? It's almost like as if you're pregnant. And I wasn't going to say anything. And I looked up to you and I was like, I think I am. And you were like, what? No way.
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
No. Are you serious? Like you kept on asking, are you serious? And your eyes welled up with tears. And, at that moment, I had said, even if this thing isn't real, to see you respond the way that you did with such love and emotion, I said to myself, like, this fight, I'm not going to give up. Like, because if this is not true, I want to see that again. Because we both were at this place where we had accepted we weren't going to have kids.
Yeah.
And you kind of didn't really show me very much emotion when I would ask you, how do you feel? What do you think? Should we do this? And that was the most emotion I got. And I trusted that was your gut and that was what your heart was saying. And so that is when I said, all right, we're going to pick up this fight. And I don't care. I have to gain the fat back or whatever once I figured out what the problem was. And we're going to give this thing a go. And it was the next year we got pregnant.
That's awesome. Oh, I remember that day, man. You got me all, I was just remembering that, man.
Yeah.
That was an epic day because you got me. Like, not many things get me, but you got me.
So, going through infertility, I don't have those those moments where I can surprise you and say, we're pregnant. That's stolen from us, right? But I can always think about that moment when I pretty much did tell you that. And even though I wasn't, your expression was the best. So your response was the best.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Good one, huh?
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Okay, speaking of infertility, what has been the most challenging part of being with someone who has infertility?
I can't fix it.
That's honest. That's good.
That's the most challenging part. Not that I'm Superman, but as guys, as men, we're fixers, we're doers. Typically we're supposed to be there for our family and our women and our children, and that's one thing I can't fix, and it was gut wrenching for me because I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And to see you at a certain point of the journey just basically tap out and give up, then I wasn't okay with giving up, but what other choice did I have? You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was like, whew, good, she gave up. It wasn't that, and it wasn't like, yes, we gave up. It was more like, all right, you kind of just deal with it. And
right, when you do.
And yeah, that's the hardest part. I can't fix it.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, and everything that comes with it is just knowing that there's nothing I can do outside of what we did, again, and I didn't even do that, you know what I mean, to get this little girl to get in the oven, so to speak, and so that was you just feel helpless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Understandable.
What would you say is the most exciting thing about you seeing me as a daddy, especially a daddy to our little girl? Like, what are you excited about seeing me as a daddy to our girl? What do you look forward to seeing and witnessing?
You have shown me so much love. You are a huge lover. Like you lead with your heart, a lot of people don't see that though. A lot of people see the Enneagram number 8 of you, the challenger, the strong, and what's the word? Competitive, the challenging, go, grind, a lot of people don't see like how much you dote, like they don't get to experience what I experience.
Sure.
The doting and the adoration and the lovey-doveyness and the affection and how you lead with your heart and everything. And I'm gonna love seeing you do that with her, and you showering her with all of your love because you have so much to give. And it's going to mold and shape her into such a beautiful woman, because all the things that we as little girls want from our daddies, you're gonna give that to her. And it's just gonna be such a beautiful thing to be able to see that all take place.
Whew. Man. We should have brought some Kleenex out this weekend. Man, you're getting me. I didn't know this was going to happen.
Oh, so get deep.
Man, okay. Hey, well, our family out there, hey, we said we would do this and be vulnerable and transparent, so here it is, right?
That's what we do.
That's what we do, so live and on camera. So, all right, baby girl, what you got?
Okay, so let's see. Third question. All right, guys, so we've done IVF. Obviously, you know that. We have 2 embryos left that are cryopreserved. So if our 2 embryos don't take, that we have frozen now, would you be willing to do IVF again, or are we done?
So if the 2 we have don't take, will we do it again?
Yeah, worst case scenario, if the 2 don't take.
Yes. I told you, a promise I made to you is that we're going to make it rock until we can't rock no more. Until the IVF clinic kicks us out the office and said, you guys are as old as Moses. Get out of here, their droopy selves. And until they say that, we're going to keep rocking, That's how I say, why not, man? What do we have to lose?
I just think of how much this little baby has, how excited, how happy, how joyful. It has brought so much to our hearts and to our home, and she's not even here yet.
Right.
I'm like, why not?
Well, here's another benefit that just hit me as you were speaking. We have learned so much about ourselves in this journey. And This is just the first one.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what else is there to learn if we had to do it all over again with a second or a third.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you have all the details of the finances and the shots and the da. Okay, we did it once already. How come we can't do it again?
Right.
But what weighs more? Is it the shots and the money, or is it the fruit that comes from the challenge?
It's the fruit.
The fruit that comes from what, like we baby, you know, we are, or excuse me, are different people. Like we have grown, we have learned a lot. We have learned what we're made of. We have been exposed to ourselves as far as, you know, just how thick our skin is or how thin it is at moments or whatever it is. And it's like, man, we are different people. And so the idea of, okay, if the next two don't take, you know what? Let's get back on the saddle. Let's get back on, man. Let's do it again. You know, until they kick us out. Like I said, they got to tell me, hey, man, your swimmers are gone and her ovaries are dried up. Like, until we get to that point, or, you know, I mean, for me, that's it. It's an easy answer. Just keep going. Why not? We only got one life. Let's bang it out.
That's how I feel.
You know? All right.
We're on the same page then.
Cool. Even if you're old, you'll still be fine. So, all right. I'm gonna say that one for last. I'm gonna flip my questions. Okay. All right. Is there anything that I should work on when it comes to fathering a girl, or especially, you know, our little girl, just fathering, period? Is there anything you think I should work on?
It's really nothing different than what we've already talked about.
Well, that's good. At least you don't have a scroll of things.
No, I mean, okay. You know, if you guys don't know, he has 2 girls already from a previous marriage. They are 12 and 13, so he's had a lot of practice. So one thing that we have talked about is your communication style, because you are so, you know, all the time, and you were raised, you know, you're a man, and you were raised as a boy that was, you know, competitive, and you were in sports, and going back to that challenging wiring that you have, we have talked about over the years that your, what's the word?
A tone? No,
your...
I don't know.
Delivery.
Oh.
That your delivery
okay.
Can be harsh. That you can have a sharp tongue.
You just said I was loving a second ago.
You are very
and I love hard. And
you do love hard.
But
when it comes to discipline,
okay,
or reprimanding,
there's no velvet to the hammer. That's what you're saying,
right? It's like, and it's not just. It's like over and over and over and over and over, because you like to talk.
A jackhammer.
Yes, because you like to get that point in, and you want to keep on going over it and over and over it.
Kind of like what you're doing right now. Nice.
You know, dramatic effect. I'm trying to, you know, help you to understand.
Yeah, you got another question over there? I'm just kidding. Go ahead, finish your point.
So anyway, that's what I mean. Like, but you have gotten so much better with the girls. Okay. Seeing you, you know, yes, kind of lighten up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the way that you were taught as a boy is so much different than the way we need to be raised, because we don't have to have all of that. And especially when it comes from our daddies, your tone is just enough, or your face is enough, and it just makes us melt. It makes us cry. So,
all right.
So yeah, that's just the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Cool. You got your last question?
No, I have 2 because you started first, right?
Shoot. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Name one attribute that you hope our daughter will have from me and from you.
Oh, okay.
Just one though.
One. Okay. One. I have multiple, but
I know.
But yeah, I'll give you one. I hope she has your demeanor, reserve. You know, just your demeanor.
Okay.
Calmness. You know, demeanor. I hope she has that, because I don't have it. so that's I'll leave it at that. And for me, you said it right. Okay. Competitiveness. you know, the world we live in. You know, it'd be great for her to be reserved, classy, but have, you know how to compete.
Okay.
So, in whatever she's doing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think that's good.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. 2 more. One for me, one for you, right?
Yep.
Okay. This is, woo! Talk to me about Mother's Day. And from Mother's Day of the past, all the Mother's Days at church, all the Mother's Days walking around the Hallmark aisle at Walgreens, all the Mother's Days that you wanted to stay home from church.
And
compare, and you did stay home. Compare that to this upcoming Mother's Day.
You're gonna make me cry. Oh gosh, this is gonna be hard, honestly. Okay. Whew.
Okay, baby. It's all good, sweetheart. It's all good.
All right. I hated Mother's Day. I hated Mother's Day. It was just a, what's the word? It was a reminder of what I wanted so badly 364 days out of that year, of every year. And it just kept coming over and over and over and over for so many years. And so, you know, for anyone who goes to church, Mother's Day is a big deal. You know, usually every church tells the moms to stand up, or, you know, acknowledges the moms, or they get a rose or some type of flower or whatever. And, you know, over our 10-year journey, that's a lot of freaking Mother's Day holidays.
Yes. Yes. I'm with you. I was tracking.
So I, you know, some years I felt like I could do it. Okay, it's fine. It's just another day, Salina. You know, I'd have to talk myself through it. Yeah. And then there were some days where I'm like, no, we're going to just go to the lake, or we're going to go to the winery and I'm going to drink.
No, we did that twice.
We did do that.
We actually did that.
And we're going to make our day, and I just want to forget about Mother's Day. And and it was really, really hard. And towards the end, I did not go to church. And you helped me even last year. We obviously were not pregnant last May. We just had our failed transfer. We had a failed transfer. Either I was in the 2-week wait, or I had a failed transfer.
Yeah, but it was not a good time.
It was not a good time. No. It was a very uncertain time. And I thought about going. No, I had already failed. And you were like, don't do it.
Right.
And so you've always been so awesome supporting me in the best and how to best navigate that. So it, you know, when I think about Mother's Day in the past, it's a sore spot, because I always wanted to stand up and I never got to. Yeah. And even just to be very candid and be very vulnerable, I hate it when people told me Happy Mother's Day because of your daughters.
Oh man. Yeah. I hated it for you, and people are sweet. I
get it.
I get it.
I understand.
And even friends who are probably watching this right now, hey y'all, some of y'all have done it, and y'all didn't know. You know, no fault of anyone. It's just I used to, man, when people would come up and say Happy Mother's Day to you, they had no idea what that was. That was just turning the knife. Yeah. And I'm like, thank you, but please don't. Yeah. You know, so I remember all those times. Yeah.
Right. And it was out of love. And I get that. They had no idea what I was going through. Yeah. But I hated it every time. I mean, I'd get cards from family. Like, I hated it. Yeah. So this year, I'm just going to cry and sob all day for a different reason. Yeah. Because this baby girl's due April 3rd. She's gonna be be here before Mother's Day, and we are going to church.
Yes, and I'm gonna have it right. I'm on my chest, or I'm a footballer into the church. I'm just kidding.
And I will pray for those women who are still in the wait, of course.
Absolutely, man.
I get to stand up, or I get to acknowledge, and finally, you know, after all of these years,
Sure.
and I'm going to be able to like, yes, you know? So yeah, it's going to be a huge day for me. That's a good question. It's a really good one.
I saved it for last.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
one.
all right. Okay.
I didn't think I was going to get through that one.
You did good, baby.
I did. I pulled it together.
Yeah, you did. You killed it. You killed it. You rocked it out.
Okay, this one's kind of like a light one.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
So, during our upcoming home birth that's coming up very soon, do you see me being affectionate with you, or do you see me craving the affection from you while I labor and I go through contractions, or do you envision me not wanting you to touch me at all? How do you think that's all going to play out?
I think both. I think the up until pushing, I think you won't touch, or either maybe not right before pushing, maybe when we're probably not too far away from pushing. I think up until that point, from the time it's a go time to right before pushing, you'll want physical touch. But when we're right there and she's gonna be here within 30 minutes of some sort, 30 minutes to an hour. I really don't see you wanting me or anyone else touching you. I feel like you're gonna transition. To be honest with you, just because you never push me away at all. Like now, you never push me, but there are times where you want more affection than other times. There's some times where I know where you're like, okay, thank you, okay, thank you, okay, right. And then sometimes like I act like I'm coming towards you, and you just swallow it all up, like you're good. You're like yes, touch. So I think you're gonna be that way during the birthing time as well.
That's funny.
I don't know. So,
Well, the cool thing about it is that we're going to have it recorded, so you'll be able to see what happens.
Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah.
Oh, man. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully this doesn't go too long, but we just decided to do something different, and it kind of helps us in this time of, coronavirus and, just kind of making the best of being at home and being stuck at home and all that stuff. So we just wanted to clue you in on what we're doing, and we hope you enjoyed that.
A little social distancing right here.
Yeah. So guys, we will let you know what's going on. If you don't already, if you're not already a friend of mine on Instagram, make sure to befriend me there, because that is where we'll have just current updates and when baby girl is here. And we'll show a little bit of when I'm actually going through the birthing process. Mondo's going to take over, and he's going to show what's going on.
Yes, if you want live, like game time footage, you have to follow Let's Make Lemonade on Instagram. Yeah, that's where the live is going to be. So.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's go time, guys. We're 38 weeks, and she's almost here. It's crazy.
That's it. Yeah, it's crazy.
If nothing happens in between now and 39 weeks, we'll have another video come out for next Friday, and we'll let you know how that's going.
Yeah, that's it.
So guys, we love you. Thank you for being here, and until next time, we'll see you in the next video.